At the bottom of the Black Sea, there are ships that have been sitting for over 1,000 years, and they look like they sank last Tuesday. The Black Sea holds one of the most bizarre underwater graveyards on the planet. Ancient wooden ships, Byzantine vessels, Roman-era trading boats, all of them resting on the seafloor in near-perfect condition. Masts still standing. Cargo still intact. Some even have ropes that haven't rotted. This shouldn't be possible. Wood dissolves in the ocean. It gets eaten, broken down, swallowed by the sea. But the Black Sea doesn't play by normal rules. And the reason why is stranger than most people expect. Stay until the end. Because the science behind this natural preservation process is genuinely wild, and it changes everything about what might still be down there waiting to be found. So what exactly makes the Black Sea different from every other body of water on Earth? The Black Sea is not a normal sea. It's technically a landlocked ocean basin, fed by rivers from Eastern Europe and connected to the Mediterranean only through a narrow channel called the Bosphorus Strait. That connection is the key to everything. Because the Bosphorus is shallow and narrow, very little salty Mediterranean water makes it through. The Black Sea stays mostly fresh near the surface, but down deep, it's a completely different story. Thousands of years ago, a massive influx of saltwater pushed in through the Bosphorus and sank to the bottom of the basin. Saltwater is heavier than freshwater, so it stayed there. And it has barely moved since. The two layers, fresh on top and salty on the bottom, don't mix. Scientists call this a meromictic system. And because there's no circulation bringing oxygen down to those deep, salty layers, something remarkable happened. The bottom of the Black Sea became anoxic. Completely oxygen-free. No oxygen means no bacteria. No bacteria means nothing rots. And nothing rotting means that anything that sinks to the bottom of the Black Sea, ships, cargo, wood, rope, even some organic materials, stays exactly where it lands, preserved as if the sea itself decided to become a museum. But if this has been going on for thousands of years, how did no one notice until recently? For most of history, the Black Sea's deep floor was simply out of reach. Ancient mariners knew the sea was dangerous. It was known in antiquity as the Axine Pontus, which roughly meant the inhospitable sea, before trading relationships softened that reputation and the name shifted to Euxine Pontus, meaning the hospitable one. But nobody was diving down into its depths. Modern exploration didn't pick up speed until the late 20th century. In 1976, a researcher named Willard Bascom first proposed that the anoxic zone might be preserving ancient ships. The idea was treated mostly as an interesting theory. Then, in 2000, oceanographers Robert Ballard and Frederick Hebert, yes, the same Robert Ballard who found the Titanic, led an expedition into the Black Sea using underwater robots. They found wooden shipwrecks preserved in extraordinary condition at depths below 150 meters, right around the boundary where oxygen disappears. What they pulled up on camera looked almost too good to be real. The timbers were dark and waterlogged, but structurally sound. You could see the shape of the hull clearly. In shallower wrecks, where oxygen is present, wood like that would have been consumed by organisms within decades. At those depths, it had been sitting for centuries without significant decay. The Black Sea wasn't hiding a graveyard. It was running a preservation program. And Ballard's team had just cracked it open. Here's where things get really interesting. Just how many ships are down there? No one knows the full count, and that might be the most exciting part. Between 2017 and 2019, the Black Sea Maritime Archaeology Project, a joint effort involving researchers from multiple countries, conducted what became one of the most ambitious underwater surveys ever attempted. Using advanced sonar and remotely operated vehicles, they documented over 60 shipwrecks in a targeted survey area off the Bulgarian coast alone. The wrecks spanned roughly 2,500 years of history. There were Byzantine trading vessels from the medieval period, There were Ottoman-era ships with their rigging still intact. There was even a ship that matched the design of vessels depicted on ancient Greek pottery, a type of craft that had only ever been seen in illustrations before. Sitting on the seafloor, mast upright, in water so deep and so oxygen-free that it had simply waited for someone to come find it. One of the project's lead archaeologists described the feeling of seeing these ships on the monitors as deeply surreal. These weren't wrecks in the traditional sense, broken apart and scattered across the seabed. They were ships. Complete ones. Just sitting there. In a single survey of a relatively small area, researchers had found more preserved ancient vessels than most archaeologists encounter in entire careers. The Black Sea wasn't just a graveyard. It was an archive. So here's the question that nobody has fully answered yet. What happened to the people? Some of these ships show signs of going down fast. Cargo still loaded. No sign of emergency unloading or controlled abandonment. The Black Sea was one of the busiest trade routes in the ancient world, connecting Greek colonies, Byzantine merchants, Roman supply chains, and Ottoman fleets across centuries of commerce. Ships went down in storms. They went down in battles. They went down for reasons nobody recorded. And when they did, they sank through that layer of oxygenated water near the surface. Passed through the invisible threshold where oxygen disappears, and came to rest in the anoxic zone below, where nothing could touch them. The ships survived. The crews almost certainly did not. But the objects those crews carried, the amphorae, the trade goods, the tools, the personal belongings, some of those are still down there too, sealed inside wooden hulls that have not meaningfully degraded in 1,000 years. Archaeologists have noted that recovering artifacts from these wrecks raises serious ethical questions about how much should be disturbed versus left in place. The Black Sea keeps its secrets extremely well. The oxygen-free layer starts at around 150 meters. Below that depth, across a basin that covers nearly 437,000 square kilometers, the Black Sea has been quietly collecting history for millennia. Every ship that ever went down in those deep waters is, in theory, still there. Still intact. Still waiting. The total count of ships resting on that anoxic floor has never been fully surveyed. Maybe it never will be. But based on what researchers have already found in just a fraction of that space, the number is almost certainly in the thousands. The Black Sea didn't just preserve a few old ships. It preserved an entire era of human civilization, one layer at a time, in water so still that not even time could finish the job. If that floored you the way it did this team, hit like and subscribe. More of this kind of thing drops every week. Share it with someone who thinks history is boring. This one might change their mind.